Hello and welcome back to another video on Gran Turismo on a daily race B, I believe, on Mount Panorama. So we're jumping straight into the qualifying now. Just a little note here. Obviously, this is probably this is the first upload within just over a week. Obviously, within Europe and the UK, especially the rest of the world listeners, there was a pretty major heat wave. And obviously, that being said, I felt a little bit ill and no air conditioning, of course, so can't really be around the heat, just making me feel even worse. So back at it though, no excuses, let's get at it. So using the Honda NSX for race 1, we've got about 12.5 minutes of qualifying to go, and as we come around the last corner there, we'll see what time we do actually set. So a 2:17.9, not actually bad. Well, I'm not actually too sure, to be honest. That could be good or bad, who knows. But get the first corner there quite well actually, but Ghost there penetrates us and overtakes us, so goes for us. Now about 11.5 minutes left of qualifying, and we're coming now, starting our ascend up the hill on Mount Panorama. Now, just another note that you can't really feel obviously things through videos unless you've obviously done this daily racing. Maybe know what I'm about to say. That as it go around that left-hander back there, you sort of like cambers in, and you can really feel the boost or the push in speed. But as we now start the descent, I decide to brake way too late, touch grass and spin off, smash into the wall. So quick restart back to where we were, and again brake a little bit earlier. It's not the tidiest, probably just heard it there, so you obviously tap the wall a little bit, and as a result a 2-second penalty is absolutely crazy, just for a little love tap on the wall. Anyway, we move on. Lap 1 again after the quick restart. We've got to beat a 2:17.9. Now, as we come under the right hander here, hit the curb, pop a little wheelie, crash into the wall. So, restart. This is now a lap 2 on a fresh lap, you could say. So, obviously, previous lap we set at 2:18, so not obviously beating the 2:17 we need to. Now, as we come on the right hander here, touching the curb, which apparently is just made of ice, causing us to a little bit of a slide on. Now, as the Ghost leaves us after penetrating us, we do get this boost. If you can kind of see what I'm on about, we do get a little bit of a push coming out of the corner. So we do actually end up now in front of the Ghost, which the Ghost will be the 2:18 lap time, not the 2:17. So that's why the delta timing is just above the rev gauge, are just all over the place. Not really too sure what's going on. Now, as we come over the top here, brake in a reasonable manner, in time. Maybe take that a little bit too slow, to be honest, looking back at this now. But we're still in front of the Ghost, which is the important thing. Now, important that we get this left-hander correct here. Keep it to the inside so we can gather as much speed for the exit, but it doesn't really work out. Now, as we come around to this left-hander, hard on the brakes, take that quite nicely, actually hit the apex, and we actually approach the Ghost and slowly go through it. Now, as we approach the last corner, hard on the brakes, where the grass changes to tarmac, we turn in, smooth on the power, and we will go and set a 2 minutes 17.6. So that lands us in 11th for the start of the race. Of course, not a good place to start. We started on the corner, so we move, we deal with that, and we still maintain 11th. Now for the first corner, Chris there, a little bit glitchy, not too sure what's going on. Everyone on the green connection apart from FSA Southern Jacks. Now, the old French driver there runs a little bit wide. I do, and subsequently Andre 86 does as well. So, but we catch up to Frankie here. Well, yeah, make a move on the inside, but doesn't really work out. Not enough room to slither in and get the maneuver done. So, remain 11th Now, as we approach the top of the hill with these left-handers, Frank runs off wide onto the gravel trap. So free overtake. We always welcome a free overtake. No work for it, so you know that's all good. So hard on the brakes after coming straight. Hit the apex quite nicely there again. The Norwegian driver was actually a little bit on the grass there. We have made distance as well to Andre, so about 1.4 seconds ahead, and we are catching up to Chris there, who has a massive slide. And as we approach lap 2, get the overtake done. So P9 it is. Moved up a couple of positions so far. Nice and tidy through there. Asphalt Jordan touching the grass and running a little bit wide. So as we come up the hill, Asphalt Jordan again hitting the wall. Tony Hawking it up, but I can't catch up. Gets a 1 second penalty. So as long as we're pretty good up the hill and we keep up, we should be able to get the overtake done at the second straight where the serve the penalty is. So as we come down, we are obviously keeping up on the rear quarter there of the Holden Genesis V8, and just up ahead there is where we serve, well, where I don't, but Asphalt Jordan will now serve. So we get the overtake done. Another free overtake, so into P8. So we're making progress, which is good. Lap 4 now, nothing really happened, so we skipped a couple of laps. P6 and 5, so Gas and Soap there. Run a little bit wide. I believe Gas actually was probably scraping the wall there. Now, again, try something a bit cheeky again. Try and get a maneuver done, but I do tap. And to be fair enough for Gas. Well, not really fair enough, but he does like just smash into me. Although I'm not really too sure the outcome of what happened, because he gets a half a second penalty. I don't, even though we both ran into the wall. Whether it knows, the game knows he forced me into it, we will never know. But we need to keep up now. We are about 8 tenths behind, and he is actually gaining time on us. So as we come down the hill in this like slow, narrow section, about again 8 tenths down, and again losing time. So we need to get this last corner good, but of course the car feels like it's on ice, so can't actually get good brakes or good grip on the brakes and turn in. So as we come under the Audi R8 bridge there, we're about 1.3 seconds behind. So he serves the penalty of, obviously it was half a second. And as we come speeding up behind, we eventually come up behind. Takes a bit of a while. We get the undertake done, and you know, brake within enough time to actually complete the corner. Move to the inside. Probably was moving under braking there, but shh, don't tell the FIA that. So as we again come to the last corner for the beginning of lap 5, we are now in P6. Kept the position, secured it. So let's see what happens for the last lap. Hopefully we can maintain P6 with Gas there. It's just literally on our case. A little bit of a tap, but it's okay. I probably took that corner way too slow, but I was on the inside, so that's my excuse. Anyway, Gas there is fully committed for the overtake on the grass, wants it either way, but doesn't get past. We, again, make our car as wide as possible, as much as the track allows and the car allows. So, again, maintain P6. We do have Chris and Gas there, obviously, quite close behind us, and there's obviously another car involved as well. So, you know, all important that we just have a smooth lap to finish off and hopefully maintain P6. So as we come round the top of the hill here, we do have Gas is literally like 2 tenths behind, so you know he's catching up, or she is catching up. And again, now we begin the descent down with a lot of hard braking, slow corners, until we get obviously to the second straight, you could say, of Mount Panorama. Now Chris there is a little bit further behind Gas. Now as we come around this left-hander, keep to the inside, just try and get that power early as possible. So end of the straight there, about 4 tenths up, and taking a horrible line. So Gas again on our case. He has got a half a second penalty. Now he was committed to the inside here, I could tell, and I felt something odd. and I mean, whether he would have went for the dive bomb if I was there, but the absolute craziness now happens.
Bruh.
Brake checks me. We'll jump into the next race and see what happens. So, qualifying 2 now. We're using the Porsche Cayman GT4 Cup. I believe now, obviously the last time I used this car, we won a race. So hopefully the same thing happens in this one. But we hopefully will try and beat 217.6 in this car. So we've only got about 3 minutes and 40 seconds worth of qualifying to do anyway, so can't really afford to make a mistake. Maybe we can make one, you know, maybe a little bit cheeky there. So top of the hill, a little bit squirrely there, coming on to the brakes, downhill. Now slow it down. Of course, I cut the corner just a little bit, and I do get the 1 second penalty. So restart, and hopefully we now set a good lap time, and that we beat 217.6. So lap 1, skip ahead to the second corner here. Take it, I don't know, a little bit slow in my opinion. Just how it just comes across, it just doesn't seem fast at all. But as we now start the ascendance up to the top of the hill, skip just a few bits here, and we have got just 1 lap we can set. We can't obviously fail this. So as we come down now the hill, I can't really tell if we're actually on a good lap because I have no ghost to compare it on, and I have no previous record with this Porsche, so I don't actually know if this is going to be good or not. Now as we come down the last corner here for the main straight, and again can't reference anything, so I think it's going pretty well, and to be honest it looks pretty smooth and pretty fast. So last corner here, time would definitely tell of where we're going to set, what we're going to set, and it will be a 2 minute 16.9. So we beat it, and that lands us in 7th place, so a little bit better than that 11th I believe of last race. Now we have Renvo there in front using the Scirocco, and then Prodigy behind in the Genesis. And if you couldn't tell already, the Genesis is kind of the popular car for this particular track, which I probably will have to try it just to see what all the fuss is about. But as you can see with the Porsche here, in the slipstream of the Volkswagen, boost up to it, then something happens and I can't get past. So just in a stalemate at the moment, and the Scirocco there does actually run a tad bit wide, but again we just don't have enough power to get the overtake done. So remain in P7, do get a little bit of a tap from Prodigy behind, but I do just slam the brakes on for some unbeknown reason. But yeah, remain in P7, and as we come down now the hill here, can't really catch up, and it's just, again, this car, like I said in the last race and the last car we used, it just feels like sometimes we're nice, and like here for example, just a big old slide into this left-hander, but we do get somehow a good exit. And as we obviously do fast forward it here, you can see that we do maintain P7 there away from Prodigy, which is, again, he is using the Genesis there. Now hard on the brakes into this left-hander here, take it quite smooth actually, and we actually again just make a good race so far out of this. Now I believe one of those drivers up there did actually run through the grass into the last corner there. Now fast forward up the hill, brake just before the 50 board, and as we turn in we see Hakito there just running into the wall, allowing us to catch up. So you know, we can see P3, he's literally just up there, so P3 potentially possible. Obviously well, we are in P7, so it doesn't look likely, but I mean, P4 there has a 1.5 second penalty, so I mean we're going to at least get one overtake done coming down the hill where they serve penalties. So as we make our way down and then approach this left-hander, again, we still have Prodigy there, but he did somehow run just a bit off. A little bit of a wall tap from one of the cars there. And as we come down, he serves the penalty there, Soap, and so does Bugger there. So we actually commit the overtake, smash onto the grass, and now this is where things go a little bit bad, because for some reason we're just on the brakes and it just feels like ice. Just run terribly wide, where I was carrying way too much speed, but the car's twitching all over the place, not really good. And for some reason, again, I would have thought maybe tires would have cleaned up, but just brake like normal and just didn't want to turn. So lose actually one position, so P5, and Prodigy then again overtakes us, so actually in P6. So got a bit of work to do now to catch up and retake the 2 positions we have lost. So lap 3, 2 laps ago. These are obviously 5-lap races in GR4 cars, no fuel pit stops required. Now can't really get the overtake done on Prodigy there, so just maintain just on the back end of him, just try and just carry as much speed as possible. If you notice as well, Hack there is on the right side but drop back obviously for the corner, so you know, one false move and we could actually end up in P8. 8 just pokes his nose into the radar every so often, but between Hack here and Prodigy, it's no distance at all. I mean, Hack there is literally just on our case quite religiously there, so we have to really be as good as possible on the track and just get all the points correct. So as we come now down the hill, we just again, it's important for this bit to just be as smooth as possible and just take the correct lines. And again, as we brake for the left-hander for the straight, again just a little bit of a slide at the exit, but we can't catch up as we approach the big braking zone here for the left-hander. We obviously do now catch up. We've got some good brakes on this car when they do decide to engage, and this has actually allowed us to catch up. Now as we approach the last corner for the start of lap 4, here we are about half a second behind and about 3/10 but in front of Hack there. So as we fast forward up the old hill, you can see Hack there is actually gaining on us, and as he does maneuver his car around the outside, does actually touch the position 6th and can't really maintain the cornering around obviously the outside, so we do again maintain P6. Now again, P3 is literally there, Bugger there crashes into the wall, so we do get the overtake done, so we move into P5. Now suddenly P3 kind of looks more obtainable with 1.5 laps to go. So let's see what happens. Let's try and see if we can at least get onto the podium using the Porsche and try and outdo the Meta cars. Now as we come down the hill for the second to last time, we again see Prodigy and Renvo fighting and battling it out. It does obviously slow them down. Bit of a slide on the exit of this corner. Prodigy does tap the wall. You saw obviously the sparks fly off, so I'm not too sure how he doesn't get a penalty at all. But we do have Bugger there, who's literally again 1/10 behind us. So, but we catch up to Prodigy here, and as we are hard on the brakes, Renvo does actually get a little bit wide, and that allows us to come past, get the overtake done into 4th. Not too sure what to do here, so just brake a little bit early. Don't want to ruin anyone's race. Just again turn in, make sure we're on the Prodigy line, and now it's the final lap, and P3 looks really obtainable now. So all about the last lap. Fast forward up the hill here, so as we come up, just trying to catch up. We do catch up kind of a bit, covers the inside line. Not going to risk going on the outside, smashing into that wall, getting a penalty, and then I've dropped down 15 places. So, you know, just keep the racing sensible and see what the rest of the lap entails. Now, again, we do get a good exit coming up the hill when we need as much speed as possible. Obviously this car isn't the fastest with the cars I'm racing with, so it's just a matter of as much throttle as possible. So as we approach the couple of left-handers here before the descent downhill, it's about half a second in front, so we gained a little bit of time on us, but you know, we make it up, I believe, actually around here, to be honest with you. We do get some better lines going down the descent now the hill, and the all important last corner here before the big straight. So get a big major slide on, and I can't really just find the grip. The car doesn't want a grip, so he is actually just gaining ever so slightly, about 2 tenths. But we are now gaining back the time with thanks to slipstream, of course. So move to the outside, get the overtake done now into P3. So we are on the podium. Got the Scirocco there, who's also now moving on to the inside, who then gets the overtake done. So he's in P4. Now we've got to defend, sit the car in the middle, hit the apex there, and just try and just get away now from Renvo, who is about 1/10 behind. Just park my car on the inside. I don't want him trying any fancy stuff. So as we come around the corner, last corner that is, it is a P3 victory. Well, not victory, but it's a podium. So if you enjoyed the video, want to see more, let me know down below. Please like, comment, subscribe, turn that notification bell on. Big thumbs up for P3, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.